Hi, hello. I thought this weekend would be the perfect weekend to get back into this type of styled video. That is seeing how much I can knit in a weekend. This weekend is actually Thanksgiving weekend, and that means I have Monday off. Do you hear that? Gus is literally digging a hole in the hay. Do you want hay, buddy? I'm gonna go give him some hay. One second. You want some hay? By the way, if you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Ev, and I love to talk all about knitting, spinning, and fiber-related content here on this channel. Typically, I choose a pattern and I'll knit it from start to end throughout the long weekend. This weekend, it's Thanksgiving, and being away from my family, they're back in Quebec City, well, Montreal, and I'm in Vancouver. I'm not doing Thanksgiving. That's all that I'm trying to say. And I thought it would be a lot of fun to maybe, instead of picking one specific project and knitting it from start to end, maybe this time I could see if I could finish any of my current whips, because I do have, or see how far I can get in my current whips before the weekend gives up, because I do have a few projects going on right now. Before I show you guys what I'm going to be knitting on this weekend, I did want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, Craftsy. Craftsy is an online learning community for makers who want to deepen their skills or learn something completely new. They offer over 2,000 classes from knitting and crocheting to quilting, cooking, painting, and so much more. I personally have turned to Craftsy in the past to learn a little bit more on quilting and learn how to spin beautiful singles, learn even new terms such as fulling, which is how you finish off a single to get it not to fall apart. Today, I even brought out some handspun yarn with me because I wanted to showcase a very particular class, which is a class from Mary Beth Temple, Mastering Modular Knitting. I have a lot of handspun yarn in my stash that I don't really know what to do with because sometimes they're just weird weights. This is 50 grams, this one is 25 grams. They're different colors, different thicknesses, and I just don't know what to do with. So I've been turning to colorwork knitting. I love intarsia, I love mosaic, and stranded colorwork. When I saw that modular knitting was a class offered on Craftsy, I knew that it would be perfect for my handspun yarn. I even started knitting my own little modular creation. It's gonna be just a simple square, and I might make it, I guess I could go as far as I have in yarn. This has been a lot of fun to knit up. This is what I've made after taking the class. I'm missing one square that I'm gonna be doing right now, but it was super easy to follow Mary Beth. She is incredibly insightful and clear in her instruction, and this class is great for any level. She also teaches a few other classes here on Craftsy, so definitely go and take a look. I think that this, if you were to make a blanket, depending on your yarn thickness, it would be beautiful. I really like how quickly this is working up, and it's a really good way to use up your yarn, especially leftover scrap yarn. What I love about Craftsy is it's not just about learning, but it's more a community of creative makers. You can share, connect, and stay inspired all together. You can join Craftsy by going to the link in the description down below or scan the QR code on the screen for your first full year of Craftsy Premium for only $1.49. Offer valid for new members only. It's such a wonderful offer if you are looking to learn a new craft or you just want to level up a craft that you already know. Thank you so much to Craftsy for sponsoring today's video. So this is the first one that I'm going to be attempting to probably finish this weekend. I really, really hope I can. I just have about an inch of the body left before doing the ribbing. This is the Novice slipover by Petite Knit. This is going to be a gift for my sister. Now, she doesn't watch my podcasts regularly, and lately she's been really busy, so hopefully she's skipping this. If not, whatever. Okay, so this is going to be a gift for her birthday, which was last month, but I haven't seen her. I'm not going to see her till Christmas, so it's okay. I still have time to finish it. This is the project that kind of inspired this week's video, because there is a stitch marker that I just placed and I have since lost. Oh no, it is here, because I have about an inch left, and then it kind of gave me the idea, let's see if I can even finish this weekend. This is being knit up in Pearl Majot, which is their mohair. It is 30% silk, and then the rest is a mohair. And I am knitting with Nettle Soft for the wool. This is 68% superwash fine merino, 32% nettle. It is their DK weight. They do have a fingering weight. This is Ancient Yarns. I've used this yarn, the fingering weight, for a cowl in the past, and I really, really liked it. And the fact that this is super wash, since this is a gift, my sister won't have to worry about washing it. The shrinkage risk factor shouldn't really be there, hopefully. And it works perfectly. Honestly, this couldn't have been a better match. So that is my knit number one that I'm probably going to be focusing all of my attention on tonight, at least. The second one that I'm working on is one that I actually binded off the body yesterday. So I'm on Sleeve Island, guys, or I'm going to be on Sleeve Island because I'm starting the sleeves, but it is actually my jean sweater. And if you can tell, this is not a sweater because it is open. I've turned it into a cardigan. I just basically followed the pattern to the T, and instead of connecting it where you're supposed to after working the short rows are worked along the back area and then they start connecting to the front. Right before you start working in the round, you connect in the front right here, which makes such a perfect seam for a cardigan. I just didn't connect it in the round, and that's it. That's my whole spiel on how I'm making this a cardigan. I am considering whether or not I should do a twisted rib because the bottom is a twisted rib. I'm debating if I should do a double knit button band, keep it smooth, or do a twisted rib button band. I've never done a twisted rib button band. Is that even a thing? I don't know. I also opted for the twisted rib that is only on one side. I find this twisted rib so much neater and nicer. So on the inside, it is just regular rib, but on the outside, that is where the twist is. So it's not a full twisted rib, it's like a half twisted rib. It's just the method I prefer. I don't know, I just feel like that one looks the best. So I just need to do the sleeves, the collar, and the button band. Not too bad, not too bad. Sometimes if I'm really focused, I can knit a sleeve in like a day. So we'll see, we'll see. By the way, in case you're curious, for this one, I am using some Knitting for Olive merino, not the heavy merino, the fingering weight one, some Sandnes Garn Tin Silk Mohair. Yes, that's what this is. I'm using from Laine Biscotte in Montreal. This is their America Biscuit. This is made in USA but hand dyed in Montreal. And what's the color? Oh, the color got okay. Well, I can't really tell you the color. Color got like erased on the tag. It's like a banana yellow. That's the best way I can explain it. And then this is a Camarose brushed alpaca. And a brushed alpaca, I kind of just really wanted the yellow to be just a little bit thicker. And I really like this combination of yellow, the fact that the mohair is a little bit darker than the yarn. This is just Campoulet wool, so it's just a very simple wool. I kind of wanted the mohair to be a little bit darker to add a little bit of texture and depth, but at the same time, I wanted it to be thicker than the white. I just felt like the yellow, I don't know why I put it away because I'm gonna keep talking about it. I just felt like, I mean, you can't really tell that it's thicker. It kind of looks the same. I don't know, I just thought it was gonna add a little bit of fun texture. Yeah, so this is what I'm gonna be working on this weekend. I have another knit, we'll see if I get to it. I'm not showing it to you just now because it might not even surface and come out of its project bag. Not gonna lie, this is already a very ambitious, fun, exciting 3 days I have ahead of me. Yes, haven't done this in such a long time. You guys have no idea. It feels like forever that I've just sat at home, made time for myself, made some tea, knit. So hopefully you guys can find some comfort in my very cozy, comfy weekend, and let's get right to it. I got a little carried away today It is currently 5:30 on Saturday, and I haven't even started knitting. Technically, I sewed my very first garment for the second time, because the first time, I don't know if this video is going to be out yet or not, but if it's not, if it is, you'll know why, but if it's not, you'll figure out why in the future. But essentially, I spent all day sewing. I don't know, I thought it was going to be a lot quicker, and it wasn't. But yesterday, while watching Shrek, I don't know why I decided to watch Shrek last night, but I did. I finally managed to finish the body of my sweater vest. So the rib is done. It is binded off. So now all I need to do is pick up the collar, knit the collar rib, or both sleeves, depending on if I feel like a right sleeve or a left sleeve. But basically last night, I feel like I got a good amount done. I did an Italian bind off at the bottom, as I usually like to do with my knits and my cast offs. I started off the night here, and it only took me a couple hours to do the rest of, this was probably like a little over an inch, not 2 inches, but I just had a little bit stockinette left to do before doing the rib and then the bind off. So I'm pretty happy with where I am at with my sweater vest. I'm pretty confident I can finish it this weekend. So tonight, let's see, I think I'm going to start with the collar. Just need to pick one of the 3, and that is what I'm going to be working on tonight. I hopefully tomorrow will be able to work on the cardigan and then go from there. At least now my sewing was out of the way, so Sunday and Monday can for sure be knitting, just knitting, which is very exciting. I love 3-day weekends. It gives me the time I really need to do all of these crafts and do them properly. Also, it's piggy dinner time, so I'm gonna go feed them before they start screaming too much. I am now so close to finishing this knit. I'm currently working up the second row for the sleeve rib, and I think in total I have 6. So basically after this one, I have 4 more rows to do, and then I can do an Italian bind off and be done with the sweater vest, this gift. This knit has been working up super quickly. If you guys want a pattern that is super easy to knit up, or just want a really fun, super smooth knit, I highly recommend the Novice Slipover by Petite Knit, because it is a very easy pattern. It's mindless, it works up super nice, and sometimes that's exactly what you want to knit on. We don't always need super complex knits. Sometimes it's just nice to just kind of fall back to the basics, let the knitting take you where it wants to be taken, and just really appreciate the softness of a yarn, the look of a yarn, the feel of a yarn, and just have something to knit to while you're watching Shrek. Because last night I watched Shrek the second. Might I just tell you, the second one is so much better than the first. I mean, I had already seen it, but just for the songs alone, I grew up on Shrek, and I don't know, I feel like this is relevant to talk about because of my whole Shrek moment that I'm living in, my whole swamp green vibe that I want to continue, although this is blue, but this one isn't for me. I grew up during the early 2000s, so Shrek was everywhere. He's basically like Stitch is now, which is unavoidable, even though Stitch in early 2000s was also unavoidable, and I grew up on that as well. I remember my first CD ever, because I had a CD player from my sister, because she no longer used it and had an iPod Nano at the time. My first CD was gifted to me by my uncle, and it was the Shrek 2 soundtrack. That was my first, like, owning a first CD. Most people have a very memorable, like, very good group that like changed them forever as their first CD. It's kind of like, what was your first concert? You know, I've heard stories where people are like, my first concert was Michael Jackson. And it's like, I grew up with that, you know? No, I grew up on Shrek the second CD. And might I just tell you, the soundtrack in that movie, chef's kiss. The storyline as a whole still holds up. The animation does not, because it is now over 20, actually it came out in 2004, so it's 21 years old. It's legal. Shrek the Second is now a legal drinking age. Take that. Nice. Basically, all I'm saying is yesterday, I don't know what it is, I just had the mood to find something really comforting to knit to, and that was Shrek the Second. There is no regrets there. It still holds up. It's still funny. So my recommendation for today for you is, if you don't really know what to watch tonight, watch Shrek the Second, enjoy it, knit to it, get some coffee, get some tea, get some wine, get whatever you want, and just have fun. Because honestly, that's all that movie is good for. It's just a fun vibe. I have 1, 2, 3. Woo! Halfway. It's a little bit chilly today, and I mean, that's normal. We're in the middle of October, fall is in full swing. The leaves have started to turn orange and yellow, and sweater weather is finally here. That is why I'm wearing my cowl today, just because it's a little bit cold outside. I had to go out for a quick minute, and my fingertips are just a little bit cold. I love it. I love when the cold comes in, because that means, as I said, sweater weather, hats, scarves, mittens, all the super cozy knits come out. I love it. I yesterday did a bit more progress. I knit more on my jean sweater. This is where it's at. I managed to do quite a lot of the sleeve, which I'm actually really impressed. I basically knit 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm doing the 6th wave yellow length. The body has 5 wave yellow lengths. I did it as long as there was someone who knit their version with 5 waves for the body on Ravelry, and I really liked the look. I think the original pattern has 6, but I kind of prefer a little bit of a crop top, and as I said, I liked the look of that person's sweater on Ravelry. So I stopped at 5, but for the sleeve, 5 is clearly not long enough because it just passes the elbow. So I need to get up to here at least before doing the rib. I think it's a twisted rib. I haven't checked how long of a twisted rib, if it's 2 inches or 4 inches. Those are usually the typical sleeve cuff lengths. I think it might be a 2-inch rib, because I believe that's what this was, so that it's matchy-matchy. That's normally how sweaters go. Definitely this cowl with the sweater and a gray dress is not the best look. This will not make it into my Mondays We Wear Knits. As for the Novice sweater, I sewed in and weaved all of my ends, and it is currently blocking. So I will show you guys that once it is dry. I'm happy to say I actually finished 1 knit in this video. Today we are Monday. It is the last day of the holiday, so I'm gonna see how far I can get on my jean sweater. Who knows if I can get the sleeve done, but if I get the sleeve done, that would be great. The sleeve, by the way, doesn't have decreases, so it's just knit. So it doesn't get like faster and faster as you knit down. All of this yellow for this cardigan or the sweater, this is still the first skein of the yellow fingering weight. I have another skein, but I don't even think it's gonna take up the full 2 yellow skeins because I just have half the sleeve to do and another sleeve, and that's it. The rest, the finishing, is all in the white merino from Knitting for Olive. So I'm definitely gonna have some yellow left over, but that's crazy. I guess it's because it's like being shared with the white, and the white has lace. There's like airy spaces in it, but it's interesting how this is just all one skein of yellow right now. So it's now Thursday, and it's been so gray and rainy here. I really wanted to film this the Tuesday right after the long weekend, but it's just fall season. It's that time of the year where it just never stops raining in Vancouver, and the days are very gray, but also great. I love fall. So all my lights are turned on. Hopefully it looks fine. I have no idea. We'll see when I edit how bad this is, but this will most likely be the rest of the fall for us, unless I get new lights. Also, on top of it, my little lights broke. They're stuck in this one setting. I can't change the color anymore, which is a little bit of a bummer, and it's a little too bright. Hopefully that's not too bothersome, but I'm totally gonna go get new lights. Right now, what I'm actually doing is the Italian bind off for my sleeve, for my little cuff, because I fully knit an entire sleeve on my jean cardigan, and I'm gonna show you it once I'm done binding off. I just couldn't bring myself to do the bind off at that point after knitting all day. I was just like brain dead, and I don't know, wanted to do something else. So I stopped right before binding off, and I thought that we could do it together, and this could still technically count for how much I knit in a long weekend. I'm almost done. I have a couple of more stitches to go. Ta-da! Look at that. So beautiful. Okay, so I'm just gonna remove this. I am wearing a men's medium t-shirt underneath because I'm working from home. And this is what the cardigan looks like. This is gonna be so cool once it's like finally blocked out. It does have a lot of like stretch and bounce to it. And I'm assuming that that's because of the like wave and the lace. It's all gonna like lay out and splay out. But honestly, the sleeve is really nice. I'm super happy. And while I'm standing and showing you guys one knit, let's take a look at another. First off, this sweater vest feels amazing. If you guys haven't tried Ancient Yarns Merino Nettle blend, I highly recommend you do. With the mohair, this really, I'm slightly jealous that I'm giving this away to my sister. She's gonna have an amazing sweater vest. It makes me wanna knit my own. And this is the second time that I'm using this yarn. The first time I used their fingering weight and I used it alone. It knit beautifully, and my cowl still looks stunning and amazing. It is a superwash wool, but it doesn't feel like a typical superwash wool, and I love that. Sometimes they feel a little bit more plasticky, so I often step away from superwash wools, but will look for some that don't give that plastic acrylic feel. This one doesn't, and they knit up great. I also can't believe this blue looks really good on me. Oh my god, I actually really like it. The thing is, this is just not my typical blue. I don't really gravitate towards this blue, as you guys know. I'm much more of a whatever vibe this is, more muted, foresty type color palette. So this is really outside of my comfort zone, but I do realize that this looks really nice. I really like it. And even with this lighting, it does look good. And I say that knowing that I'm also knitting on a banana yellow sweater, which is also really out of my comfort vibe. but I just thought that this, I don't know, I really like this color palette. I don't know how much I'm gonna wear that cardigan, but for that one, it's much more about the joy of making it. Sometimes it's just nice to make things that are really fun and catching your eye, and it doesn't always have to be like, how many times will I wear it, you know? But sometimes it is good to have that. Anyways, let's talk about the sweater vest before I get too carried away with the banana sweater, the jean sweater, the jean cardigan. So this is what the sweater vest looks like. Now, I resorted to taking off my t-shirt and just wearing it, just the sweater vest, because that is how Petite Knit wears it. And honestly, the mohair does not bother me whatsoever. So this could be an option for my sister if she wants to wear it with a t-shirt or not. I had to take off the t-shirt because it was way too baggy. A man's medium shirt is just, I mean, it's super comfy to work in, but it's not the best. To show you guys a finished knit, this knit is beautiful. And again, I'm slightly jealous that I am going to be giving it away. So this knit just did come off the blocking mat. So it is just like a little bit square and still kind of like, I pinned it down, not to excessively stretch it or anything. I just pinned it down to get a nice accurate shape for the knit. And it kind of is like that. I'm assuming with wear, as normal knits do, they take their final shape to your body as you wear them. But I also did find this super cute little label. It's a leather label that says don't shrink. Even though this is superwash and it shouldn't shrink or felt, I think it would be super cute to add it to the back of the collar, because having a little label makes your knit look so much more like a finished garment and looks so much more like a real item of clothing. I think that this is going to be a really cute addition to have on the inside. So I'm going to add that. It's leather and I got it from a local craft fair like 4 or 5 years ago. I genuinely do not remember the seller. I think I got 4 or 5 of them. They all say don't shrink, and I wish I remembered. But at that time I just didn't take down notes about where I'm finding things and getting things. So I didn't have a YouTube. Sorry. I also have at the bottom here this super cute little stitch marker. So I'm just going to take it off. So this is one that I got from Melly Knits, not from her, but from her kiosk at my first time at Fiber West. So not this year, but the year before that. And I thought that it was super, super cute. It is a little pressed flower in some resin, and it's handcrafted. The thing about this and why I'm going to be giving it away is I don't really like this attachment. A lot of stitch markers that come from independent creators and just like are handcrafted have these types of heads to them, and I really just don't like them. So this here is an acrylic sweater. This is my last acrylic sweater that I ever bought. I bought this when I was back in Montreal. But anyways, so do you see this one here? It's a lot rounder, a lot bigger. It'll slide on the needles. I usually like to knit with these compared to this type of like jewelry head attachment. So what I've been doing, because I'm gonna keep buying these, I really, really like these, and I like supporting local businesses, and they're usually the cutest ones on these types of little heads. I'm not gonna go and change the clasp on all my stitch markers. I'm just not gonna do that. I know myself. So what I've been doing, which is another way to appreciate them, and I think an even better way, is to actually wear them. So I put them on knits, put them on the rib, just have a little cute jewelry piece to my knit. I will put them on my cuff. I will put them as like little brooch, anywhere that I can clip it that doesn't look too odd. I think that that is so much better, like to show them off and use them instead of just having them lay in a bowl. And as I said, I'm still going to be buying these because I really like them. They look really cute, and I love supporting small independent like businesses. I think that this is just a really fun little jewelry piece to add to a knit that adds a little bit of whimsy. So that is why I'm going to be giving this to her with this knit. But anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you've made it this far to the end of the video, this was a little bit different of a video than I normally film, but it was just a nice way to just relax and hang out with you guys and actually see how much I can get done in a long weekend at like a realistic pace. And I feel like I still managed to get a lot done, finishing the entire rib of the sweater, blocking, binding off all the ends, weaving it in, and then on top of that, knitting an entire sleeve. I mean, I did bind off today, but still, I'm gonna count this in my long weekend as a win. And on top of that, the skirt, is that out? If it's not, it'll be the next one and you'll know what I'm talking about. But honestly, this was a really fun, super chill weekend, and I hope this was a really fun video for you guys. Please do let me know if you like this type of video in the comment section down below, or if you have any other video recommendations. I'm all ears. I would love to know what you guys would want to watch, or if you have particular questions about knitting, spinning, and now sewing, maybe I could answer those questions in future videos. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely, beautiful day. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!